What's up? What's up? I love this training so much. This has literally put me in this just I just say rolling with this fast-paced prosperity because it's so rhythmic when you kind of go beyond this very archaic understanding that only this kind of work will make you this kind of money, and that's life. The reality is that money is energy, and it's just one form of energy. It's like one energy measurement, and we need money to navigate through the 3D world that we live in. Like, money allows us to pay bills and to purchase things, and it's an important circulation of energy for sure, but it is not the only circulation of energy. And when we start to lift beyond this very, very, very linear understanding, we literally jump into massive prosperity. So as a physiologist, we see that the number one commodity that we have as humans is energy. And energy, right, according to Newtonian physics, energy can either be created or destroyed, but it can be generated and it can be transferred. And within the body, that's the way the body systems work. So you have these three different amazing energy systems within the body, and it requires a certain amount of lung capacity, which we call maximal oxygen consumption, or VO2. Okay, so your VO2 is a measurement of energy, and it is your life force. So in an etheric or energetic sense, so beyond the corporeal weight, the physical anatomy of the body, in which you are utilizing ATP, CP, glycogen stored within the muscles to generate and transfer energy so that you have enough stamina to not only be a human and perform basic human functions, but also to enjoy and have the bandwidth to experience what you want. And you also need a certain amount of chi, of life force. The prana, right? The breath that comes in you is not just giving you enrichment in the form of VO2, it's giving you enrichment in the form of chi, in the form of life force energy. Your chakras, the energy systems of your chakras. And, again, that's measured. So we've got our chi, we've got our VO2, we've got cash, right? These are all simple measurements of energy, which is what we all want to be able to generate, to be able to transfer quickly, and to be able to deliver and exchange, to create a bigger life experience of the reality that we're choosing. So this training is going to literally allow you to create a much more powerful accounting ledger. How are you holding yourself accountable to your daily energy? It is a daily ledger. And instead of looking at income and expenses, we're going to look at enrichment and depletion. And at the end of the day, you always see, okay, income, expenses, net profit. Enrichment, depletion, net prosperity. That's the name of the game. Because when you are circulating all that is available to you, the three-dimensional aspect, which is the money, it's so easy to maneuver. So the first thing you're going to do is take a look at, well, let me just backtrack for a second and share with you why this is so important. I have dedicated my life to this because I have lived in this fear that, oh my God, I'm not going to have enough energy. Do you feel that way too? Like all the energy, there isn't enough, right? And you can replace that word with money, right? It's not enough money to go around. I'll never have enough. I'll never have enough money. I'll never have enough energy. Oh my God, if I become that successful, I won't have the energy to hold it, let alone enjoy it. So these are things that I've worked through, that I continue to dance with. And this tool helps me on a regular basis so that in the minutes of life, I can harmonize and I can move into a place of deep contentment and inner peace. So that's really where you're going to drop in, is first just establishing perhaps kind of, if you've got this kind of fear, and seeing that it's an invalid belief, and then what is it that you are going to do to support you in this new belief that prosperity actually has very little to do with cash flow. It's only one little piece of the story, right? So the first thing that you want to ask yourself is, and there will be a full training guide that goes with this. You can work through and you can journal on this. So I'm just going to speak this now, and then you're going to go back, you're going to go through these prompts, and you're going to work this, and then you're going to actually receive this beautiful enrichment, depletion, daily ledger, so you can take account of your net prosperity. So good. So the first question is really, coming into this very simple equation, like, what do you really want to feel and experience as your reality? Like, what is it that, I want to get all this money so I can buy the expensive car, go on the nice trip, take the vacation, get the clothes, right? But then you do all those things, right? You spend the money, and then you're kind of in a, an external search for a feeling, right? And again, you can cultivate that feeling anytime you want. That's a whole other training. But how you magnify and amplify the feelings that you're looking to call in, of course you can support yourself with external things that help you feel enriched, right? And that's what this is about, right? So taking into consideration, first understanding, what is it, not what things do I want to acquire, but what feeling am I trying to create a bigger experience of? So for example, for me, it's like my number one priority is to amplify my experience of inner peace. Can I feel peaceful with whatever is in front of me? And can I create deeper contentment with that? And what do I do every single day that is enriching me, giving me energy so that I can hold that frequency and hold the vision I have for myself that allows me to feel deeply fulfilled in my Dharma? And then it's very easy to start to see, wow, what depletes me, what takes me out of that. So first get clear on what is it you're trying to create a bigger experience of, and really go into detail. Find detail. Let your pen flow. There's no right or wrong here. It's you. You're the only person that can answer this question for you. So have fun with it. This in and of itself is an enriching exercise and activity. So it goes on that black side of the ledger. So now the next piece is really, looking at what are all the activities you do every day that increase your chi, increase your VO2, increase your cash flow, increase your neuromuscular strength. So just to break down a little bit of physiology here again, we do things that actually give us better lung capacity. So this is about how you're feeding yourself, how you're resting, how you're moving your body. So what gives you more oxygen consumption. So I know for me personally, under this category is yoga, is my pranayama practice, my breath work practice. It's meditation. It's walking, running, it's cardiovascular exercise. It's resting. It's what I'm nourishing myself with. What does my nutrition look like? So it's this kind of physical experience of energy, right? What is energizing me physically so I can get those three energy systems in beautiful harmony. Then you've got your chi, your life force, which is all about your energetic anatomy. So it's 10 body fitness, meaning what is magnifying your aura? What is amplifying your radiance? What is stimulating your arc line? What is balancing out your three mental bodies, negative, positive, and neutral mind, all three, right? So what is helping you really energize your subtle and your soul body, right? This is about your chakra alignment, the experience of getting your chakras from the root to the crown spinning, and those nerve ganglia, the nerve bundles that are there, really, really nourishing and creating a very energized and content human existence. When I look at this, when I see chi, I mean, your life force gives you the ability to kind of move through dimensions, right? I mean, your lung capacity, your chi, your nervous system strength, your neuromuscular strength, and your cash flow allow you to not just jump time streams, but be super agile between them, and allow you to not just live in the three dimensions, right? Of kind of like time and space and matter, but start to break through that fourth dimension where time and space collapse, and you're moving into these different realms, and that's prosperity. That's the human power. Again, a whole other training. So bringing it back just to give you, again, a little context around this. So you're looking at the activities in a day that you do, that you see are actually energizing, giving you chi, giving you more VO2, right? And giving you cash, and giving you neuromuscular strength. So you're going to list those out, all of them, right? All of them. And again, it's just you and you. You're the only person who can answer this. But I know, again, for me, it's like, okay, well, what gives me cash? Coaching, teaching, right? What gives me life force energy? Coaching, teaching, but also content creation, creating trainings, hanging out with my friends, spending time with my daughter, traveling, right? These are things that give me life force. What gives me neuromuscular strength? Well, of course, yes, some strength training, but what also gives me the kind of neuron agility and strength and velocity I need to make really great executive decisions that give me more of the experience I'm trying to create, which is inner peace and fulfillment, doing what I love. So what is that? When I'm studying, when I'm learning, when I'm mastering my skills, right? These are things that I know I get to put on this list. So it's not just a straight, okay, I put in these work hours and I pay myself X dollars. Now you're going to start to see this in a whole, again, multi-dimensional way. So you list out all the activities, and then you simply break it down. And you look at, so I just have some fun notes here, but in your worksheet you'll have this, but this is just what I do every day in my journal, is that I then look at, okay, where am I getting the enrichment and where am I getting depleted? But first, you're going to value every activity on that list. You're actually going to give it a dollar amount. Now you can do this in kilojoules because that's what measure, you could do this in milliliters per kg per O2 per minute and geek out like a scientist like me. You don't have to. I mean, you could just simply put a dollar amount because, our brains are trained to understand things in a dollar amount, right? So you can just do it in a dollar amount for ease. And now you're going to evaluate all of the activities that you do. So you start to look at, you break it down. So for me, it's like, I know my pranayama, like when I'm doing my breath work, that like gives me so much life force. That is so valuable. So when I go into this dedicated breath work practice, which is work, I am paying myself $100 an hour. I am putting on the ledger $100 an hour because to me it's 100 kilojoules of energy that I've just given myself, right? Meditation, a couple hours of meditation, and the energy that I receive, for me, again, if you want to put a dollar value on it, put a dollar value on it. $300 an hour. So again, you start to just evaluate the activities that you do every day. How are you paying yourself for the things that are enriching you? Okay. And then after you create this entire list, you're literally every day going to put this on your ledger and you're going to pay yourself for these things. And then what activities take you away from the bigger experience you're trying to call in? So I look, I'm like, wow, now I see where these are my expenses. Where am I actually paying energy, paying money, and it's kind of in the depletion category. And there's no judgment here. We are humans. We are living in a messy world. And so there's always going to be a ledger. And the goal is, what gives you inner peace on a cellular level is, can you go to bed in the black every day? Can you emphasize a little bit more of the things that enrich your life? And maybe check that list of depletion, and maybe there's something you can take out. I mean, that's just basic budgeting. Where can I save? Right? Where can I spend less? How can I do more? That's being an excellent human, and that in and of itself generates energy and gives you the prosperous experience that you are craving. So what activities take away? Right? So you go back to that original question, what are you trying to create a bigger experience of? And then you just look at it, and these are real things. So it's not a judgment. It's like, okay, I know that I pay bills. And it's just money, and that's cool. It's not bad. It's good. It's part of being human. This is about grit and fortitude, right? What gives you power in all of this is understanding that it's all good. So what else? Well, you can take a look at, like, again, what are you spending your cash on every day? You need to know, right? Food, shopping, clothing, bills. What are you spending your actual cash? So there is the cash flow component of your ledger, which is incredibly important, but it's only that one piece. What are you spending your attention on, your chi, your life force on, that perhaps is depleting? Comparison, complaining, worrying, driving somewhere, cleaning, marketing. What are those things? Again, only you can know, right? Because what lights me up may be completely depleting for you. So only you can know the answer to this, and get real with yourself, right? Get real with yourself, and then really look at it. Indecisiveness, scheduling. And what's beautiful about this list is you can start to see some of these necessities, like cleaning and, organizing, and perhaps they deplete you. And then you get to go, oh, well, right now I am paying, and you just happen to be paying yourself for it. But you can take that and you can then pay somebody else to do it. And then you get that time back, which is really energy, which you can put into something that is really enriching that could potentially give you more cash flow to pay for other things. Do you see how this all, it's such a beautiful flow. And there's an ebb to it too, which is also part of this holy human existence. It's not just flow. There's an ebb. So you're going to have expenses. It's okay. If you didn't, you'd be dead. There'd be no pulse to this, right? Inhale, exhale. Heart beats, ebb flow. Everything moves. It's cyclical. So look at those things that are depleting you and then put a dollar amount on them. That simple. I know for me, I'm like, I know I can get knocked out when I'm in my worry state. And so I look at worry and I'm like, yeah, every time I worry, that costs me, So at the end of the day, I've spent like, if I clock it out, and I've really gone into a serious audit where I'm like, every single minute I worry, I'm like putting it in my iPhone in a note. And I've added it up, tallied it up. I'm like, wow, if I blow out an hour throughout the course of my day worrying about what other people think of me or bills or whatever it is, right? I'm like, that's $300 an hour. So that is what it is. Not judging, but just like, hey, if I'm worrying, I'm paying for it. What else? Like, hey, maybe you're keeping some negative company, right? Like maybe you notice that you're spending time with friends that are just gossiping and deplete you. You spend an hour with friends gossiping and it depletes you. I just spent $200 listening to other people bitch. So then here's the magic. You go back and you then literally create your ledger. And I will have this on a sheet for you where you just simply at the end of the day, activity, how much time did you spend? Was it an income, right? An enrichment, or was it an expense or a depletion? And then you tally up your enrichment column, you tally up your depletion column, and hopefully you are in the black. And that's your net prosperity for the day. Why does this matter? Because the very act of doing this creates a certain new neural pattern where you get to understand prosperity on a much greater scale so that you can pull in the cash flow that you may be seeking and desiring, because you don't put all your eggs in one basket anymore, right? So it literally changes the way that you see and value yourself. This is a self-valuation exercise. So this is about self-esteem, and this is your steamboat. So it's everything, and it can change everything. So much love. This is so exciting. I can't wait for you to embark on this journey. Much love.